So R. Kelly was just found guilty of about 14,000 crimes, including racketeering. And, they actually went after him in an interesting way. They found a clever way to bundle all these charges together, and they got enough evidence and enough testimony. And so he's found guilty of all these sex crimes and racketeering. And Crystal and I had this conversation on Crystal Kyle and Friends recently. I suggest you check out the video if you haven't yet. We debate whether or not we would still listen. Will you still listen to R. Kelly's music? And you can broaden out this conversation. Do you still listen to Michael Jackson's music? Do you still listen to Chris Brown's music? So is there a separation between the art and the artist? Or can you not get past the crimes that were committed so you feel like I can't really even enjoy it anymore? And even if I did enjoy it as a matter of principle, I'm out. I can't do it. Okay. So that was the conversation we had. Well, the public appears to have a very clear answer to that question. Take a look at this. This is from The Hill. R. Kelly's album sales grew by 500% after conviction. R. Kelly's music sales have spiked since he was convicted for sex trafficking and racketeering, Rolling Stone reports. The R&B star has seen double-digit gains in streams and triple-digit growth in sales since he was declared guilty on all charges against him on September 27th. In the week following his conviction, R. Kelly's streams increased from 11.2 million to 13.4 million, while his album sales climbed 517%. Additionally, his on-demand audio streams rose 22%, and his video streams increased by 23% compared to the 7 days prior to his trial's conclusion. Good googly moogly. Would you look at this? So, listen, we come right back to the same conversation. Are you okay with listening to it? Why? Why not? I really think it's a complicated and nuanced conversation. So I polled my audience on this on Twitter, and maybe I'll do the same thing on YouTube. I'll do a YouTube poll on this as well and see what you guys think. On Twitter, it was 55% to 45%, which is super close. Usually when you poll something on Twitter, it's a blowout in one direction or the other, 70-30 or something like that. 55% said, separate the art from the artist. I can still enjoy it. 45% said, I can't really do it anymore. I find that fascinating. I mean, if I'm being honest, the music is fucking good. Like, that's the problem, right? Is that Michael Jackson's music is phenomenal. R. Kelly's music is phenomenal. I love Chris Brown's music. I know that one's a little more controversial. It's more widely understood that R. Kelly and MJ are awesome in terms of their musical ability, but Chris Brown is a little more controversial. I guess it's, my age is the perfect age where right in that millennial zone where Chris Brown stuff hits right. So, me personally, I do lean in the direction of separate the art from the artist. I do. I think what's happening here, though, with this spike in sales is that people think, and maybe they're not wrong about this, that you're literally not going to be able to get an R. Kelly album soon. You won't be able to stream the music soon. And so it's almost like, quick, get it while we still can type stuff. So I think that's what's going on there. And do I think all those people are bad people? No, you can't. You can't. Because if you ask those people individually, like, do you support the crimes of R. Kelly? They'd be like, of course not. Now, some people would say just by buying music, you're supporting the crimes. I don't agree with that. I came up with what I view as the compromise position, which is let everybody still enjoy the music, but why not take the proceeds from the music, take the profits, and distribute them to the families of the victims? Isn't that a good compromise? This way, nobody feels bad. It's like, okay, you can listen to music and then just take the money, give it to the families of the victims, and then they're like, shit, if that's the case, everybody keep listening as much as possible to the stuff. So I guess that's the compromise, that's the mid position. But yeah, me personally, I do lean in the direction of separate the art from the artist, but I don't begrudge somebody if they don't. Yeah, I don't begrudge somebody if they say, nah, it's a little too much for me. And like if you knew that this was helping R. Kelly continue his crimes, like you're financially helping him more so he can continue his crimes, then I could see an argument. And yeah, I wouldn't even feel comfortable if I knew that my money was going towards the perpetuation of the injustices and the crimes. But we're not in that position anymore. And so I do think you can separate the art from the artist, because the other point I made in my conversation with Crystal is like, where do you draw the line? Because now we're talking about crimes, but then there's other instances of what if somebody's just an asshole? And there's other instances of what if they're complicated in both directions, like Gandhi, for example, widely viewed as a hero and a freedom fighter, but at the same time, there were sex crime allegations against him. So can you not, learn about Gandhi and appreciate the positive stuff without, the negative stuff, taking it all down. Like, the music itself can stand on its own two legs while the crimes are, separate. So, in other words, people are complicated and nuanced, and there's 700 different layers to you as a person. Thing number 8 on the list is not the same as thing number 512. So, I think we need to appreciate that nuance. But anyway, you get the point. We saw this happen with Alex Jones, too, by the way, when he got pulled down from YouTube and everywhere else. He had a giant spike in viewers on whatever few platforms he remained because people were, he was shoved underground, but people followed him to a certain place because they thought, hey, maybe this is the last time I'll be able to see this stuff. But eventually, the deplatforming effectively worked, where now I'm sure he has a much smaller audience than he did previously because he's been off the major platforms for so long. So I don't know if that's going to happen with R. Kelly. Like, will the radio fully stop playing his songs? Will you not be able to even find somebody else posted on YouTube? I don't know. But I do think that would go too far if you went to that extreme. So radio can't play it. You can't have any of the R. Kelly videos on YouTube. YouTube pulled down his 2 channels, but I think other people can still post the music, I think. I think to totally get rid of the record of the music, I think that would go way too far. And we'll leave it at that. But curious what you guys think about it. We did the Twitter poll. We'll probably do a YouTube poll on it as well. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.